A wedding away from home is nothing short than a fairy tale. You feel ridiculously romantic, you have a nice close-knit relationship with your friends and family, and it's a nice relaxing atmosphere to not have to worry about your usual typical hometown weather. However, you might be thinking, I can never have a wedding abroad because of the funds. Don't worry, I am going to give you 8 ways that you can save money and you can maximize your budget when it comes to having your dream wedding in Spain. Hey, I'm Dani de Silves and welcome back to Spain for Weddings. Let's blast that budget and work together so that you can have a destination wedding and still stick to a budget. Number 1, know your budget. You need to be sitting down with friends and family and everyone that's going to be involved in the wedding and work out an overall cost of what it's going to be. That means you have to think ahead for everything. The price of shoes, table decorations, the hotel, the venue, the dress, everything you can think of that is going to create an expense for the wedding. You want to know how much you have left from your budget or how much you need to increase your budget by. Number 2, the location. Picking the location can really make a considerable difference to the amount of money that you will pay overall for that destination wedding. If you are going to come to Spain, then fantastic. What we advise is wherever you are planning to have your wedding, make sure you go there first to visit everything, because sometimes pictures on the internet make places out to look a lot better than what they really are. Sometimes pictures might be hiding the fact that there is a new building being built over the road, or that things just have deteriorated and that picture is years old. So please, no matter where you go for your destination wedding, take a really cute little holiday with your partner or your girlfriends and view the place that you want to get married in. Number 3, decide your guest list. Obviously, the less people go into the wedding, the cheaper it's going to cost. Now, this can be the hardest thing, is to decide, okay, so who is important enough to come to our wedding, but also who is important enough to come to our wedding? That means we're going to have to pay for them to get them there. Now, this is very, very tricky, and it's not something that I can help you with a great deal. However, a really great decision to understand if you should be inviting someone to your wedding or not is to literally pull up your recent call list on your mobile phone and take a look. When was the last time you actually spoke to this person in person, over Facebook Messenger, or over the telephone? So I would like to say, as a good rule of thumb, if you haven't spoken to this person within 8 months, maybe it's not worth inviting them to the wedding, as I wouldn't consider you guys as close friends and more acquaintances. And I'm pretty sure they would understand that you didn't invite them to the wedding because you guys just don't have time for each other anymore. Number 4, choosing a date. Sometimes we can think, I'll just go for the cheapest date. However, what you need to decide is the date that you choose will also depend on the seasons of the country you're planning to visit and also any festivals and holidays they have on. For example, it might seem a great idea to go away to a certain country in February. However, if you go to Thailand, for example, they have their New Year celebrations, and yes, things are going to be ridiculously expensive and very, very busy. So you need to pick a date which is good for you. You are happy with the season, and you also need to be identifying any holidays and festivals in that place, because that will ride up the cost of plane tickets. Number 5, get yourself a wedding planner. Now, this might seem a little bit over the top, but let's just be realistic for a second. When you're planning something on your own, it's going to get so stressful, and that's when you're actually in your hometown having the wedding. However, when you take that wedding and you push it outside and you go to a different destination, things get a whole lot more stressful. So the idea of having that wedding planner means that that person will sit down with you and they will say, okay, let's focus on the most important things now. And because they aren't you and they're not involved in the emotional aspect of your wedding, it makes it a lot easier for you to get things done that are very, very important. Because sometimes when we plan, we get excited of the venue and the dress. However, what's the most important thing? That we know how many guests are going, we have to have the accommodation sorted and any extra things that the guests will need. And luckily, the wedding planner is there to do the hard work for you. Number 6, book in advance. As soon as you know the dates of when you want to have your wedding, book in advance the plane tickets, the venues, anything you're going to hire or rent whilst you're out there, because that can reduce the costs down significantly. Yes, last minute bookings may happen for some unexpected guests, and that may mean the costs are risen up. So remember, the more in advance you can be with booking something, the more money you're going to save. Number 7, make a priority list. When you have a list of all the expenses and the things that you want to do at your wedding, I want you to start numbering them from number 1 and then go down the list of what is the most important. Because it might mean that if you want to do everything that you have in mind for your wedding, you may go over your budget. So I want you to sit down and think, okay, what is the most important thing that we need at this wedding? What can we live without? Yes, it would be nice if we had that, I don't know, fluorescent flamingo sitting outside near the pool when we're in Spain. However, it's not really that necessary. So really try to take yourself out the box and think, okay, what is the most important thing and what can I afford to just leave off? Number 8, extend your trip. A lot of couples like to go to their wedding destination, have the whole ceremony, and then they will go somewhere else that isn't that place for their honeymoon. However, you might be able to keep costs down if you stay at that wedding destination for your honeymoon. I would even say call up the hotel, call up the people where you are staying or the things that you want to do, and see if they will give you a discount if you stay a little longer for your honeymoon. They might say yes, and it's always worth checking with them to see what deals you can get. Planning a destination wedding can be very, very stressful, and sometimes it could be upsetting to know that you can't have certain things that you would have dreamed of back home because of the higher costs involved with a destination wedding. Remember, as long as you book in advance, you should be able to do everything that you want to do, as long as you know your initial budget. And I hope that video helped. Let us know down in the comments about your destination wedding plans and when your wedding is going to take place. Until the next video, hit the thumbs up button, that notification bell, and subscribe to the channel, and have an amazing day. Bye bye. Life is wonderful.